Welcome back to the channel. We're back on our commander deck profile with Miku Queen Electric. For 2, a white and a blue, you get a 2/4 with flying, where whenever Miku Queen Electric deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of target non-land permanents you control, then return them to the battlefield under their owner's control. So we're going to want to make sure we have plenty of ways to benefit off some enter the battlefield abilities for our creatures, and also ways that we can make sure we can keep swinging so we can deal out damage, so we can actually get that ability and not just sit there with everyone have something to block flying. But that's going to be a general overview of the deck. Let's get into it card by card. But first, I just like to thank the person who had commented this recommendation down there in the comment section. If anyone else has a commander they'd like to see covered, make sure to leave it there in the comment section so we can get to it next. But yeah, like I said, let's get into it card by card. Starting off, we have Arcane Signet, because we're going to need some mana. We have 4 mana to cast this spell, but then we're going to need some mana to cast all of our other spells. May as well. Azorius Signet for some mana, Commander Sphere for some mana. Also, the benefit off of these is that with Miku's ability, we could also use the ability to blink these, and then they will come back untapped, making so we can tap them for the mana again. That's why there's so many ways to tap for some mana. Even if it's 3 mana to cast it, we do get that draw power if we ever need it. Conjurer's Closet, at the beginning of end step, blink a creature, making it so we can get to enter the battlefield ability. We don't need to rely on Miku's ability alone. We want to make sure that we can benefit from everyone's ability. Lightning Grease to make sure we attack with our creatures the turn they come in. Make sure we attack with Miku the turn she comes in order to deal that damage right away, to blink our stuff right away. Mycosynth Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle, allowing to make sure we never miss our land draws because we're going to keep on blinking this every turn, but keep swinging in every turn. And Harmonica, in order to make sure we get those enter the battlefield abilities double time. Miku herself doesn't have an enter battlefield ability, but our other creatures do, so may as well benefit off of it any way we can. It also benefits our artifact, so it does get you 2 lands off Mycosynth Wellspring, for example. Scroll of Fate, in order to manifest a card from our hand, basically put it face down as a 2/2 creature, but when we do eventually blink with Miku, that 2/2 is now a whatever, based on whatever we put face down, because it gets turned face up. So say, for example, we put a Meteor Golem face down. It is now a Meteor Golem instead of just a 2/2 with no ability. Soul Ring for some additional mana. Stranded Resonator. Copying ability, you control, choose new targets for those copies. Making so that we can get double up on our enter battlefield abilities, or also double up on Miku's ability if we have a way to blink things a second time. Swift Boots, in order to make sure we attack the turn it comes in. Oh, sorry, something else I also forgot to mention with this deck is it is a more budget-friendly deck, just as was requested in the comment section. I want to make sure those are more budget-friendly there for people than most decks I build. Wayfarer's Wobble for some additional mana, and Whisper's Silk Cloak in order to make sure we can actually deal the damage without being blocked. Because people are going to have blockers at a certain point. 8-Her Channeler, really good enter battlefield ability, getting us a 1/1 bird, and that's about it. No, it also lets us draw some cards, or blink a creature. Not blink a creature. Turn another target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I know, so remove our opponent's best thing. Blaze Blazer. When this creature enters, create Druid Golem. Golems control at first strike, so Druid at first strike. Really good ability there. Keep on creating more Druids, creating more and more tokens. There's a lot of things that when they enter create tokens, so we have quite a few of those. Charming Prince, in order to blink another one of our creatures, gain us a little bit of life, or a scry. So it's benefits of being blinked itself, because that's when it enters. So we blink in order to blink something else, or scry to, or gain some life, depends what we need at the time. Circuit Mender for some additional life gain. But what we really care about is when this leaves the battlefield, draw a card. We don't care about how it leaves the battlefield, if it's sacrificed, if it's banished, well, exiled, sorry, still using Yu-Gi-Oh terms. Cloud of Fairies. When it enters the battlefield, untap 2 lands, allowing us to make sure we tap those lands a second time during the same turn, thanks to Miku's ability. Cloud Blazer, in order to make so that we could gain a little bit of life, draw a bit of cards, keep on going, doing that every turn with Miku's ability. Delivery Moogle, every turn we get to search out a artifact with mana value 2 or less. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things that we have in this deck that we could search out there with Delivery Moogle. We're going to tend to want to get a Psionic Resonator first, because that's just really too good to pass up with this deck. Lead Guard Mage, when it enters the battlefield, gains relife, draw a card, allows us to add a little bit of extra draw power. It also flies itself, allowing us to add additional damage potentially. Flicker Wisp, in order to blink another creature. Guy Standard Monk, toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. Okay, we're going to have plenty of other creatures on the battlefield in order to make sure we get that even stronger. Enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 spirits with flying, allowing it to be at least 3/3. Keep on blinking, create more and more 1/1s, allowing us more tokens with flying. Eventually we'll have enough to swing in on our opponent for a game. Helpful Hunter enters, draw a card, blink it, draw another card, blink it, draw another card, do it again and again. Inspiring Overseer, same thing, but we get to draw life, and it's flying. But yeah, draw power never hurts, so we can make sure we keep getting to our best stuff. Core Cartographer, may as well ramp again and again. Malcator, Purity Overseer, allowing us to blink this creature in order to get 3/3 Golem. We already had some other Golem synergies with them having first strike, but so let's get more 3/3s. Speaking of golems, we have Meteor Golem, as we mentioned before. Blink it in order to keep destroying more and more permanents on your opponent's battlefield in order to make sure we can actually, deal damage because we're going to remove all the creatures. Muldrifter for some draw power. Meteor Battlesphere. Enters the battlefield to create 4/1/1 tokens. Allowing you to get a pretty strong Meteor Battlesphere, but how many times you blink it? Because whenever a creature attacks, you may tap X untap mirrors, aka potentially 12 if he just blinked us twice. If he deals creatures +X+0 until end turn and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking, aka 16/7 and dealing 12 damage to that person, that could potentially be game. They don't have anything to block with. Peregrine Drake, in order to tap our lands for a second time around, along with blinking it for like 2 mana to get 5 mana, and blinking for 2 mana to get 5 mana. Reflector Mage enters the battlefield, or blinking for free with Miku's ability, allowing you to get those initial lands back. Reflector Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. That creature owners can cast spells with the same name as that creature until your next turn. Okay, blink our opponent's best thing, potentially their commander, because they can't cast it again until your next turn, aka hopefully they flash. Restoration Angel, another way to blink our creatures. Seagate Oracle enters the battlefield, look at top 2 of your library, 1 to your hand, other onto the bottom, allowing us to basically keep on blinking this, keep on getting the best thing off of the top. Solemn Simulacrum, let's keep on blinking it in order to get more and more lands on the battlefield, in order to get more and more draw power when they get removed, potentially. Well, we don't want to get removed because then it won't be there to blink. Soul Herder, whenever a creature's put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. That could be quite a strong creature at a certain point. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. A way to jumpstart itself, along with, way to blink our other creatures. Spirit Companion for that draw power, Starfield Vocalist. If an ETB would happen, it happens additional time. Why not double up on it? You could also run Elish Nor and Mother of Machines on this one, but we want to keep this one a little bit more budget friendly. Sun Titan, or you get our Spirited Companion back. That's the only reason we have this in here. No other reason. We don't want Seagate Oracle back. We want Spirited Companion back in order to make sure we keep on getting our Dream Mana stuff back again and again. Keep having it enter, keep having those abilities happen. Tax Collector, when it enters battlefield, spells your opponent's cost 1 more to cast, or detain target creature and opponent controls, basically making that creature useless for a turn. Vesner, Shaper's Savant. Yeah, that's like Savant. It's a servant for some reason. Enters return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand, allowing us to get rid of our opponent's things, putting it back in their hand so that they have to cast it again. Wall of Elements for some draw power. Whirler Rogue, keeping on more and more tokens. And you still roll another or it's a draw power, another end step. We don't really use that too much in this deck. For our enchantments, we have Aqueous Form. Aqueous, enchant creature can't be blocked, allowing us to make sure we can actually deal damage there with Miku. Banishing Light for some temporary removal. If we have a way to double this up, we could double it up. We could also blink this in order to redetermine what we want gone for at least a little bit. Reality Acid, enchant permanent. When it leaves the battlefield, enchant permanent. Reality enters the leaves the battlefield, enchanted permanent's controller sacrifices it. And we're going to blink this in order to make it so that our opponent has to sacrifice the thing we enchanted, aka a good source of removal. For our instance, we have Cloud Shift to blink, Cosmic Intervention, way to get around our opponent's board wipes by having all of our stuff just come back. Counterspell, another way to get around counterspell. Sorry, another way to get around board wipes, just to make so that they don't happen. Displace, makes so we can blink our creatures. Eerie Interlude, another way to blink. Ephemerate to blink. Blink, blink, blink. Removal, removal. Wow, that's fast. Sorceries, another round, another way to blink our stuff. Austere Command, Cleansing Nova, and Time Wipe for another more board wipes. Time Wipe is also really good in this deck because it allows us to put our creatures back in our hand and, cast them again, have their enter the battlefield abilities happen again. And Raven Form, another way to blink, exile target artifact or creature. Control creates a 1/1 bird, another source of removal there. But that's the deck there. If you guys like the deck, make sure you like the video. If you want to see more like this, or you have a command you want to see covered, leave it down there in the comment section, and subscribe so you can stay tuned for future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of the day.